All right, so this is part 3 to the algebra and trig review problems. Number 6, find equation of the line that goes through the point 2, -5, and it has different parts. Part A is going to be, so this line will have a slope of -2, and they're different parts. They're not all treated as one thing. Part B is this line is going to be parallel to the x-axis. Part C is going to be the line parallel to the y-axis. And part D is the line is parallel to 2x minus 4y equal to 3. Okay, so recall from one of the algebra classes, there's the 3 main equations for a line. So you have point slope form, and that's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And again, so m is the slope. Slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. And then the third one is general form. And that's ax plus by equal to c. So depending on which way you want to go about it, will determine what answer you're going to have. I will say that this right here is an example of general form. All right, so for this question, I'll show how to put in point slope form and then slope intercept form. All right, so it's got to go through the point 2, -5. And then they tell us that it's going to have a slope of -2 for part A. Well, if I did point slope form, that's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I know that m is -2. And then I use the point that's given for x1 and y1. So for when I plug it in, technically you could write it as y minus and then -5. That turns into y plus 5 though. So I'm just going to go ahead and write this because of the two negative signs. That changes this to y plus 5. And then equals -2 times x minus 2. All right, so that's the point slope form of the line. Now, if you did slope intercept form, it's y equals mx plus b. Again, the point's 2, -5. And then they tell us that the slope is -2. So at least right now, instead of y equals mx plus b, I have y equals -2x plus b. And again, what I'm showing is just two approaches to get answers. Sometimes the answers in point slope form, sometimes they answer in slope intercept form. most of the time, I know for algebra, we usually dealt with slope-intercept form. And then for this, I need to determine the y-intercept b. All right, and I can do this by plugging in the given point. So to find b, just plug in the given point in the question for x and y. So I could plug 2 in for x, -5 in for y. That changes this. Instead of y equals, be -5 equals -2 times 2 plus b. So that's -5 equals -4 plus b. And then you'd add 4 to both sides. All right, so b is -1. So the slope-intercept form y equals -2x minus 1. That's just two approaches, two different answers, basically representing the same line though. Obviously the first method I did is easier because it's way less steps. All right, part B deals with being parallel to the x-axis. And again, so the point was 2, -5. Now I like to just visualize what's going on here. So the point 2, -5, 4, 5. That's the point 2, -5. And then be parallel to the x-axis. Well, the x-axis, right, is this horizontal line. If I'm going to be parallel to it, I need another horizontal line. And so it would look something like this. Let me get that point more aligned. Let's see, so it's more about right here. Okay, so I have this horizontal line, the green line, and then that goes to that point 2, -5. And it's parallel to the x-axis because another horizontal line is parallel to, you need another horizontal line because the x-axis is a horizontal line. Now the x-axis, that has the equation y equals 0. Now for the green line that's parallel to it, this is going to have the equation y equals -5. All right, and that's going to be the answer. And so you could know that, let me do different colors. So note, anytime you have y equals, let's say b, where b is some number, that's a horizontal line. So let's say that's b, and it goes through the y-axis at 0, b, whereas this one goes to the y-axis at 0, -5. All right, so to summarize, I plotted the point Just to visualize, you don't have to do that. I saw that to be parallel to the x-axis, so I saw that in order to be parallel to the x-axis, which is the equation y equals 0, I needed another horizontal line. Since it has to go through that point, I determined that y equals -5 is the horizontal line. And you'll notice that it's y equals the y coordinate of the point in which it goes through. All right, that's in summary of what I did. Now the next part, so that was part B, so this next one's part C. It's pretty much the same, it's just parallel to the y-axis this time. The y-axis, so the x-axis has the equation y equals 0, but the y-axis has the equation x equals 0. Just to visualize again, so 2, -5, that was somewhere right here. And then I have the y-axis. That's a vertical line, and it's got the equation x equals 0. So if I want to be parallel to that vertical line, I need another vertical line. In this case, it's going to be the vertical line that goes through the point. That's not perfectly straight, but it goes through that point, and that's going to be x equals 2, the x coordinate of the point in which it goes through. So that's the answer. So the answer is x equals 2. It is the vertical line that is parallel to the y-axis, since the y-axis is a vertical line. And that vertical line was x equals 2. So note, anytime you have x equals a, where a is some number, that's going to be a vertical line. It goes to the x-axis at a comma 0. All right, so that's that one. Similar to the previous one, except you're dealing with a vertical line versus a horizontal line. Now part D, it's going to be parallel to this line 2x minus 4y equal to 3. And again, goes to our point. To -5. So in order to be parallel to this given line, we know that parallel lines have the same slope. But different y-intercepts. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite our given line 2x minus 4y equal to 3 into slope-intercept form. And determine the slope and y-intercept. All right, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. All right, so I'm using the given line in the question, rewriting it into slope-intercept form in order to determine its slope. And that way, since I know what the slope is, I know the slope of the other line is going to be the same. All right, so rewrite 2x minus 4y equal to 3 into y equals mx plus b. So what I'm going to do is subtract 2x from both sides. So then I have negative 4y equal to negative 2x plus 3. Then I get rid of the negative 4, so I have to divide everything by negative 4. All right, so this line that I was given in the question, in slope-intercept form, it's y equals 1/2 x minus 3/4. All right, that's the same line as the 2x minus 4y equal to 3. I just rewrote it. And then from here, I can deduce that the slope is 1/2. All right, so for the line in question, since that's 1/2, the line that we want is going to also be 1/2. Okay, so, and again, the given point is 2, -5. All right, and it's quicker to just write the point slope form, so I'm going to do that. So again, point slope form. Is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And in this case, I use the given point for x1 and y1. That's going to make y minus -5 turns into y plus 5 equal to, our slope is 1/2 now, and then x minus 2. All right, that's a valid answer. Or you could have wrote the slope-intercept form if you wanted. All right. So that's that question, and it had multiple parts, and I just treated each part. The main gist of it is that part A dealt with just writing the answer in slope-intercept form or point slope form, and it just had to have a slope of -2. part B dealt with it being parallel to the x-axis. And since the x-axis is horizontal line, our answer is going to be a horizontal line. And since it's a horizontal line, it's going to have the structure of y equals b. And in this case, since it goes through the point 2, -5, the y coordinate of that point is -5. So the answer is going to be y equals -5. Now for the vertical line, so parallel to the y-axis is a vertical line. So I need another vertical line for my answer. The x coordinate of the point that we're given is 2, so the answer is going to be x equals 2. And then part D said to be parallel to 2x minus 4y equals 3, so that's just some line that's given to us. We need our answer to be parallel to that line. And so what I first did was I rewrote that into slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, so I can identify that the slope is 1/2. Since it's parallel, I still use that same value of 1/2. Now, real quick, if they did ask if perpendicular, you would use m equals -2, right? That's the negative reciprocal of 1/2. So you flip 1/2 to 2/1, change the sign. All right, I'm going to do one more and then make a part 4. All right, so this would be number 7. So I'm given some function f of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. And I'm given another function called g of x, and that's equal to 2x minus 3. I'm going to find part A, f plus g of x, part B, f plus g of 2, and then part C, f composed with g of x. And then I'll do part D, g composed with f at x. All right, so C and D, these are called composite functions. That's what the open circle or dot looks like. Now if I were to do part A, that's just adding the two functions. So when it says f plus g parentheses then x, you're just adding the function f of x plus the g of x. And that's just writing down, well, my function f of x is x squared plus 2x minus 1. And then plus the function for g, which is 2x minus 3. And then I just combine like terms. So that's going to equal x squared, and then I do 2x plus 2x to make 4x. Then I combine minus 1 and minus 3 to make minus 4. All right, that's the result when I add the two functions together. Now part B, you're doing the same thing, except it just wants it when you plug in 2. Well, I can use my result from part A to do this. So I know f plus g gives me x squared plus 4x minus 4. So all I got to do is I plug 2 in for x. All right, so I'm using my result from the previous question, and I'm plugging in the value for x. So it'd be 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 4. All right, so 2 squared, that's 4, plus 4 times 2, that's 8. So 4 plus 8, and then minus 4, which will give me 8. All right, so that's the answer for part B. Now for these composite functions, I'm going to use a different color for each function. So let me go on. So I use the result again from part A for part B, and I just plug 2 in for x. Now, so I had f of x is x squared plus 2x minus 1. And then I'll use blue for g. G of x is 2x minus 3. Now, you'd have to know what composite function means. So recall from previous course of algebra, the composite function I'm going to do f, and it's called composed with g. That's equal to f, and then parentheses g of x. And you go right to left. You apply g first. And then apply f to this. You go right to left. All right, so this question, I'm going to be finding f composed with g of x. That's part C. So I'm going to apply f, and f is in green. I use the definition. That's going to be f of parentheses. And then I plug in what g of x is. And g of x is what I have in blue. All right, so I just substitute in. I apply g first. That's going to equal f, and then parentheses, and then I plug in what g is. G is 2x minus 3. All right, now I'm going to apply f, and I plug in 2x minus 3 in for x into the equation. So recall that f of x, that is x squared plus 2x minus 1. All right, so wherever I see x, I'm plugging in 2x minus 3. So that's going to equal something squared plus 2 times something minus 1. And what I put in these parentheses is what g was. So that's going to be 2x minus 3 squared plus 2 times 2x minus 3. And then I just go about simplifying it. So you do 2x minus 3 squared, and go ahead and say what it turns out to be. So that's going to be 4x squared, and then 2 times 3 is 6. That'll be minus 12x plus 9. That's the result of doing this squared. And then I just got to do 2 times 2x, and then 2 times minus 3. So that's going to make that plus 4x, and then minus 6, and minus 1. All right, then I combine like terms. So my answer would be, so I got 4x squared. I combine the minus 12x with positive 4x. That's going to make that minus 8x. And then I combine the 9 with minus 6 and minus 1. So that's really 9 minus 7. So it'd be plus 2. All right, and this should be the answer. And again, so for the 2x minus 3 squared, I use the fact that when you do a minus b squared, that turns into a squared minus 2 times ab plus b squared. All right, that's where that came from. Now part D is doing a composite function, but it's in the reverse order. So it's G composed with F. All right, and I'll write the functions over again. So f of x that was x squared plus 2x minus 1. G of x was 2x minus 3, I believe, yeah. All right, so similar process, it's just going in the reverse order. So this is going to equal, and I'm going to apply f first this time, so we g parentheses and then f of x. I substitute what f of x is. It's x squared plus 2x minus 1. All right, and I plug this whole thing in for x. So where I see x right here, that's what I'm plugging in, the x squared plus 2x minus 1. So that's going to equal, so I do 2 times something and then minus 3. And that something is what's in green, f of x. So it's x squared plus 2x minus 1. All right, then I just go about simplifying it. So I distribute the 2. That'll be 2x squared plus 4x minus 2, then minus 3. And then that's going to make this 2x squared plus 4x minus 5. All right, so that's the result. All right, so that's where I'll stop this video. This was part 3. The next one's going to be part 4.